Hi there, Chair, committee members, and members of the public. My name is Tatiana Arnaud. I am the city engineer for the city of Oxnard, and I'm here to present the award for agreements for Advanced Metering Infrastructure Installation Project, PW 17-32. So the recommendation for the Public Works and Transportation Committee is that the Public Works and Transportation Committee recommend that the City Council approve and authorize the following for a total of $30,481,628.12 in project funds for the Advanced Meter Infrastructure, or otherwise what I'll refer to as AMI, installation project number PW 17-34. So first, the mayor to award and execute agreement A-8371 with Badger Meter Incorporated for $22,062,283.12 for the installation of water meters. Project contingency amount of $2,206,228, and a project allocation of $2,206,228 for the engineering, inspection, survey, and project management of this project. And finally, number 4, the mayor to award and execute agreement A-8350 with Carollo Engineers for $4,006,889 for the construction management services for this project. And for the City Council, similarly, the recommendation is that the City Council approve and authorize the following for a total of $30,481,628.12 in project funds for the Advanced Meter Infrastructure Installation Project, PW 17-32, with the first being the mayor to award and execute agreement A-8371 with Badger Meter Incorporated for $22,062,283.12 for the installation of the water meters, a project contingency amount of $2,206,228, a project allocation of $2,206,228 for the engineering, inspection, survey, and project management for this. And finally, again, the mayor to award and execute agreement A-8350 with Carollo Engineers Incorporated for $4,006,889 for construction management services. So some background on this major project for the city, and it basically consists of replacing meters that were originally installed between 2002 and 2008, which have essentially reached the end of their useful life at this time. These meters are far less accurate and can miss what we call nuisance flows. So these are low flows that can pass through the meter without detection. And the existing meter reading software is actually no longer supported. So that's been an issue that the Water Division has been having to deal with on a consistent basis. The radio reads are basically failing at a rate of 20 to 30 per week. So what we're saying is essentially those devices in your meters that read the flow going through them are failing at this rate, right? So that's a high rate of failure, and therefore that's why this project has become more critical in nature. All newly installed meters must be read manually at this time, which presents an operational issue for the Water Division. So they can't do this in an automated fashion. They have to have people physically go to each of these meters to be read. And approximately 25% of the existing meters are read manually. So again, it goes back to the operations and having to have people on hand to be able to go in and actually physically open up all of these meter boxes and do the readings. So some of the benefits that come with upgrading the metering infrastructure is that we could get high accuracy reads with every meter. There will be real-time water usage available for both the city and the consumer to be able to log on to a portal and actually see this in real time. Leak detection would be something that comes with this as part of the project. There will be an optional integrated shutoff. I already mentioned this, but the customer interface and engagement will be enhanced from what they have today. Here's a picture on the top right-hand corner that essentially shows what that customer interface will look like ultimately. We do want to note that these are lead-free stainless steel bodies. So there's a state regulation that requires that there be no more than 0.25% lead in any of our metering infrastructure. And so this actually is lead-free with the stainless steel bodies. And this does come with a 20-year warranty. So there will be a visual inspection of every single one of the 40,000 plus meters and meter boxes throughout the city. And basically there will be actual documentation as part of this project that is done. And so essentially we'll get a GPS location of each meter with a classification of all of them. So whether it's residential, commercial in nature, or for irrigation. The size will be documented, whatever associated address there is with those meters. And then for the new meters, there'll be the installation date and photos to go along with it. So there'll be some sort of GIS portal that we can go into and have all of this information readily accessible. This is something that we do not have today and could be incredibly beneficial to us in the future. So what do our residents, or what should our residents expect during this project? So each resident will be provided with a schedule, a meter how to read guide, so basically a guide to show them how to actually read these meters, and instructions specifically for accessing the customer interface. So it'll show them how to get onto that web portal to be able to look at all of this, the state of their water usage, their bills, all of that. Each customer will be notified at least 2 weeks prior to their meter being replaced. So there'll be proper, or like at least ample notice before any work is done at their residence, and the meter replacements will actually only take about 20 minutes or less. And each of these installers will be identifiable via uniform with company name and phone number. That is something that we're requiring them to do. We do want to note and just make very clear that residents will not be asked for any sort of personal information during this project whatsoever. And they will only be contacted directly in those cases where the contractor isn't able to locate their meter in the public right away, right? So they can't see it right away. They would basically need to go and knock on the door and just ask for permission to enter their front yard or maybe their backyard, depending on where the meter is located. And it might be hidden due to obstructions, and they just be seeking permission to enter onto the property. Otherwise, there'll be minimal contact with the residents. And like I said, they'll be notified a few weeks in advance, either way, of the date at which their meter will be replaced, and should only be interrupted for 20 minutes or less across the board. So the project itself will include the installation of all new meters, the meter endpoint, the meter box lid, and any incidental piping for the services. There will also be a full inventory of all water meters in the city, which will provide the classification, GPS location, size, address, and installation date, like I mentioned previously. And we actually anticipate the meters to begin being installed in summer of next year. So the notice inviting formal bids for this project was published in June of this year, with bids due in July. We received 3 bids, 2 of which were rejected as being non-responsive, and the lowest responsive bidder for this project was Badger Meter Incorporated at $22 million. As for the construction management services, we are requiring these because it's a project of such large magnitude that we do not have the in-house staff and resources to be able to execute this on our own. So our internal staff will be working closely with our construction management consultant to help us execute this project in the most successful way possible. So an RFP for this project was published in April with proposals due, early April with proposals due in late April. We did receive 2 proposals, and they were reviewed by the water division manager, the water operations supervisor, and the project manager for this project. And Carollo Engineers Incorporated was selected as the most qualified firm to provide construction management services for this project. They've done this on a number of other projects, and we feel confident that with them we can successfully implement all of these new meters throughout the city for the residents of Oxnard. As far as financial impact goes, I'll go down the list again. $22 million will go to Badger Meter Incorporated under Agreement A-8371. $4 million will go to Carollo Engineers under Agreement A-8350. $2.2 million will be set aside for the engineering, inspection, survey, and project management throughout this project. I do want to note that this project will take at least 3, but potentially 4 years to complete. So this funding will take care of multiple years worth of staff time inspection, survey, and project management. And finally, a 10% project contingency at $2.2 million for a total project cost of just under $30.5 million. The project is funded from the Water Operating Fund and Security Contamination Prevention Fund. The current project balance is approximately $13.8 million. An additional budget appropriation of $16.7 million will be requested in subsequent fiscal years as needed and funded from the available fund balance in the Water Operating Fund. That does conclude this presentation. Thank you for listening, and I am happy to take any questions. Thank you.